Hey, what's up guys and welcome back to Anime King. And today I'm going to be giving you part 14 of What If Kaguya Was Naruto's Mother. Remember to get this one to 100 like as usual, share this to all of your friends in your social media platform, and also stay in tune because today I'm going to be giving you a new What If. But I'm not going to be spoiling the name yet, but just know I'm going to be giving you guys a new What If. And over on Anime King 2, I post a new episode of What If Aizuna Uchiha was Naruto's ancestor, so go ahead and check it out and enjoy. And also guys, I'm gonna be posting What If Naruto rebuild the Uzumaki clan, so stay in tune for that and I hope you guys enjoy each and every episode. And remember, if you're new and this is the first time you hear my voice and you enjoy videos on both Anime King and Anime King 2, go ahead and click that red subscribe button and become a part of the Anime King family. And thank you for all of your help and your support. And yeah, without further ado, let's begin this new episode. Start the intro.
I think the girls with their nails done now. Girls with their nails done. I think the girls with their
So, the last part we left off, Naruto finished his training with Jiraiya, Tsunade, and Orochimaru as he headed off. On his way, he came upon a group of bandits trying to catch a girl. And right now Naruto here was black, as he had normal eyes from his disguise when he went to the grass village. So no one could tell that he was really Naruto, the elemental god, as Naruto quickly defeated all of the thugs that were trying to catch the girl, as she then introduced herself to him. Her name was Minami, as Naruto started to spend some time with Minami as the both of them get to know each other, until things work out. The both of them became a couple. As the both of them moved in together, the relationship got serious as Naruto proposed to Minami and they had a small wedding, and the both of them were happy. They were more happy when their son was born, as they combined both of their names and they called him Minato. A year after that, they have a daughter which they call Konan, as they were one big happy family. And Naruto was still wearing his disguise, as his hair was not white and his eyes were not white as well, as he was Naruto, the family man, the father of Konan and Minato, not the elemental god, not a warrior, as he had settled down. Things were really heating up where they were, so Naruto decided to move his family. So one day they headed out. That was until they heard a group of ninjas coming as they hid in the bushes, as Naruto didn't want to get his family hurt. As Naruto saw the ninjas changing their clothes and their headbands as they put on Konoha headbands, as Minato accidentally stepped on a twig as the twig broke as the ninjas told him to come out. As Naruto introduced himself to the ninjas and told them that he will be on his way now, he's a simple family guy. But the ninja said that he is not going to leave any loose ends, as he attacked Naruto. Naruto told his family to run, as Naruto then decimated 8 out of 9. As he realized one of them was missing, he then heard a huge explosion. As Naruto dashed with his incredible speed over there, he arrived within seconds. Tears quickly came to Naruto's eyes when he saw the burned remains of Minami, and he couldn't find Konan or Minato as he cried out their name, but they were nowhere to be found. In Naruto's mind, he quickly came up with one conclusion: their body was destroyed in that explosion. As Naruto quickly wrapped up Minami's body, as he was buried at the monastery with Hagoromo, as Naruto quickly rushed back to where the headbands of the ninjas were. They were from the Sky Country, as Naruto now is burning with rage and anger. This world has wronged a god and they will feel his wrath. So yeah guys, that was basically the last part we left off. You guys can switch across the place and check it out for yourself. So let's start this new episode. We start this episode with Naruto as he just exit the monastery, as he activated the seal as the monastery became invisible. As Naruto's long white hair was flowing, his horns were coming from his forehead and his Byakugan was radiating in power as he had on his white kimono with his black pants. As Naruto released the grip on his emotions, immediately he was bombarded with pain, grief, sadness, rage, hatred, all of them bubbling up to the surface. As emotion rose, Naruto started to see flashback of his family, Minami, Minato, Konan. He will never get to understand why Minato chakra moved faster than any other. He will never get to teach Konan how to do origami, which she seemed to love so much. He will never see Minami's beautiful face again. As Naruto was seeing images of Minami holding on to Minato and Konan as she was plumaged in the stomach by a kunai, as Minato then stood over Konan protecting his sister, as a faceless man walked up to the both of them, as he could hear Konan calling out for her father, tears leaking from her eyes, and Minato trying his best to protect his sister. Naruto could do nothing as he watched a vision his mind conjure up, as he finally snapped as he let out a roar that echoed through the area, as he will have his vengeance. Minami, I know you won't approve of what I'm about to do, but it has to be done, he said, as his eyes started to glow green as he flew up into the air. As Naruto flew through the sky, he shattered the sound barrier as you heard a boom behind him as he dashed towards his destination. It took only a minute as Naruto made it to his target, the floating island that hold up the land of sky. A large island of land and earth that held up off the ground that used advanced technology. As Naruto saw the tallest tower, most likely the person that ruled the country, as he saw a lot of strange contraption flying around the island as they were guards. As Naruto released a scream that was just buoyed with pure rage as lightning engulfed him. As Naruto flew through all of the metal construction with people inside, tearing them, destroying them as his lightning was destroying all of the machines. As Naruto cared for none of them, as his face was blank but his eyes was burning with fire that would burn this world. As the ninjas who survived screamed as they plummeted to their deaths. As he continued to fly through their formation, zapping them like bugs. As Naruto then sensed something as he vanished. As he reappeared in the middle of the street, surrounded by people, as a woman bumped into him as he grabbed her by the neck and lifted her off the ground. She was the one. She was the one that murdered his family. It was her chakra signature. As the woman struggled and tried to get out of his grip, as a kunai came towards Naruto's face, as he just slapped it away like a fly. As he turned to see a man with a weird contraption on his arm that he could fire kunais out of. You will let go of Akio, said the man, but Naruto simply ignored him and turned back to the woman. You killed my family, said Naruto, as he started to slowly increase the pressure on her neck. You caused me unimaginable pain and grief, but now I will be able to sleep better, knowing that their killer is dead. The woman struggled to get some word out, but eventually she managed. Please, she said. I have a family. Children. As Naruto's grip just increased, causing tears to spring up at the corner of her eyes. You think having family will get you to live, said Naruto, as he brought Akio to eye level, as her feet was dangling off the ground. I had a family too. Did you spear them? I had a wife. Do you remember her? The woman that you stabbed with a kunai. Do you remember my two children? The blonde-haired boy and the blue-haired girl. Answer me. Did you spear them? He said as he shook her. Tears started to stream down her face as she was gasping for air. No, said Naruto, you didn't spear my family, so I will give you the same treatment. But don't worry, your family will be joining you shortly. As the woman, eyes widened hearing that, as Naruto released her neck, as he then held the two sides of her head. With one snap, he broke her neck. As he then threw her body to the side like a piece of rubbish. As Naruto then dodged a punch coming towards him, as this was the woman's husband. As Naruto looked at him, he was going through the same pain he was going through right now, but Naruto didn't care as he was boiling with rage and anger. As Naruto grabbed the man by his face and lifted him off the ground, as he slammed the man's face down into the hard concrete, as the back of his head exploded with the pressure as he died instantly. As Naruto then got up, there was people watching him. "Come out," he said, as all of the civilians had already run away. But someone was there. People was there. "I know you're there. Come out now," he said. Immediately, a lot of ninjas appear, all of them wearing the purple uniform of the Land of Sky. He saw several of them wearing that same weapon that the man was just carrying. That's some kind of kunai launcher. Naruto then sensed something that wasn't natural. A chakra signature. It felt twisted, like it was bent out of shape. As Naruto saw a man coming towards him, muscle pulsating out of his body, making him look grotesque, but he had great physical strength. As he was wearing nothing but black pants, as he looked quite out of place, with all of the Sky Ninjas in their purple uniform, as he had long brown hair that went down his back, as this man was borrowing chakra from somewhere. As the ninjas around looked jealous, and they also looked that they admired the man who was coming towards Naruto. The man was startled by Naruto's appearance. The horns caught him off guard, but he quickly composed himself. "Tell me, stranger," said the man, "why have you come here to slaughter my shinobis and kunoichi? One of your ninja killed my family. Now I will kill theirs," said Naruto. "You will attack an entire county just to kill a couple of people for revenge?" the man asked. "Are you the leader of this country?" Naruto asked. "Why, yes I am. May I inquire who's asking?" "My name is Naruto," Naruto said. "Well, Naruto-san, yes, I am the cage of Sky Country. I am Sikaru." As Sikaru then gave Naruto a bow. "Why were you and your ninjas dressing up like those from the Land of Fire, Sikaru?" Naruto asked. "And why would you like to?" But Sikaru was cut off as Naruto grabbed him by the neck and hoisted him off the ground. As Sikaru's eyes went wide, Naruto was just a distance away from him. "Enough of your games," Naruto said, as all of the ninjas around aimed their weapons at him. "What were you and your ninjas doing, impersonating Konoha ninjas?" Naruto asked. "Oh, a bit touchy are you, Naruto-san," said Sikaru, as he didn't seem affected by the hand around his throat, but Naruto wasn't squeezing. As Naruto applied pressure, as the man then let out a choking cough, "Answer my question, or I will squeeze until your head pop." As he was starting to lose his patience. "Isn't it obvious?" the man told Naruto. "We wanted to frame Konoha for something." "For what?" Naruto asked. "We wanted the other village to attack Konoha and cripple it, so our ninjas dressed up like Konoha names and committed crimes against the other hidden villages, war crimes to be exact. We know that the village is strong, but without the might of their precious elemental sage that hasn't been seen in a long time now, their village would fall without him. But we know that Konoha is strong. With Uzu and Taki, they could end the war. That is where the Land of Sky come in, with the fortress of the Empire. Combined with my Zero Tail, we will annihilate the weakened villages and rule supreme." "The Zero Tail, what is it?" said Naruto. "A artificial bijou," said Sikaru with pride. "One that feeds on the darkest emotions of the world, growing stronger with fear. And it will continue to grow stronger and stronger. Have a taste. Super Revival Fist." As he brought his fist down on Naruto, as it was a huge dust cloud. As everyone watched and waited to see who will come out first. As Sikaru stepped out. "This is a power that we wield. We will achieve anything with this power." Sikaru was then sent flying as he broke through several buildings. As Naruto stepped out of the dust cloud, unharmed, untouched. But what made the ninjas scared was a power that was oozing from him. As the air was getting thick and tense, as some of them could hardly breathe. Naruto was beyond angry, beyond enraged. These people had twisted chakra beyond anything he could ever imagine. He could almost feel Hagoromo rolling around in his grave from what they have done. As Naruto floated up into the air, as he decided to show them the wrath of a god. As he watched the ninjas in Inferno, burning them alive. Some of them managed to jump away, but a great portion, about 85% of them, died in a second. Naruto then relieved a sharp wave of wind that teared through the air, as many ninjas tried to do jutsu to stop it, but it tear right through them, killing them instantly. The buildings were also ripped apart and destroyed within seconds. As Naruto then flew to the center of the city, as he took in a deep breath, as all of the buildings started to shake, as Naruto was pulling everything towards him, as many buildings creeped over and broke as they were pulling towards Naruto, as all of the giant buildings were pulled towards him, which are now giant stones. He then blew and pushed them all away as they tear through everything, squashing all ninjas around him. As buildings smashed into other buildings and they kept on flying, stones pierced through ninja, seeing that they were moving at such a high speed. As the ferocious winds destroyed everything, collapsing buildings upon buildings. When the wind finally calmed down, Naruto was standing in the center as nothing was around him. As Naruto could sense that some of them survived his attack and there was also some others in different parts of the city that wasn't even affected. It would make sense that the city was well prepared against wind damage, seeing that it was a flying city. As Naruto saw Sekiro covered in cuts and bruises, as Naruto looked at him, he vanished. He appeared in front of Sekiro. As Sekiro fell back in shock. "Who told you to do it?" said Naruto. "Who told you to frame Konoha and have the other hidden village turned on them?" "What are you talking about?" asked Sekiro. "What you're planning isn't something that you would plan. Someone told you to do it, someone that you feared. Now answer me." "Oh," said Sekiro with a smile as he tried to throw Naruto off, but inside he was scared. "And how do you know what I would plan?" "From what I have gathered from our encounter, you're incredibly arrogant. You let the power that you hold go to your head, and you think that you can defeat everyone. You're not smart enough to come up with this plan by yourself. Now tell me, who told you to do it?" "Don't let me ask you again." "I don't know. He came during the night. He killed my guards. He was wearing a cloak. He said that I will bring glory to my country if I follow his plan. I never saw him again. That's all, I swear." As Naruto looked at Sekiro, he was telling the truth. That much Naruto knew for certain. There was someone out there in the world trying to manipulate things to their favor, and whatever they wanted, they also wanted to destroy Konoha. That was a part of their plan. Unfortunately for them, their plan got Naruto's family killed, so in return, he will kill them. But he had no idea who they were, or what they looked like, but he knew that they were male, but other than that, nothing. Meaning that for the moment, Naruto wasn't going to get any real revenge anytime soon. As Naruto looked at Sekiro, who was running off, "This place will still burn," he said, as he started to gather and mold his chakra. Feeling the large amount of chakra being gathered behind him, Sekiro turned around. As Sekiro saw Naruto covered in a cloak of fire. A burning yellow fire that Sekiro could see was scorching the ground, as Sekiro could feel the heat from here. As he started to run, he then watched lightning start to encase Naruto as well, enhancing the effect of the yellow fire, spreading the circle around Naruto further, as the ground started to bubble and pop like lava from a volcano. As Sekiro started to push his body faster, wanting to be clear of the blast radius. As all around Naruto, the ground started to bubble and pop, the heat melting the floor. As Naruto embraced all of his hate and let it fuel him. As the cloak started to go out further, as the ground started to get burned, as it disintegrated from just being near to the cloak. Nothing actually touched the cloak of fire. Everything was just being incinerated if it was close enough. As Naruto took in a deep breath and then released. As he screamed, as he exploded the cloak of fire, as it engulfed the sky country, as Naruto annihilated a country within seconds. Everyone was dead within seconds. They felt no pain. It was instant, and it was just pure darkness. The story was different for those who managed to get to a glider, as few of the ninjas, about 2 handfuls, escaped. But Naruto's spear extended beyond the line of sky, as it melted all of their gliders, smashing them out of the air as they were burned, incinerated. As they were burned in the air, it was a violent death. as a spear, then came back, as Naruto was in the center of everything, as he didn't even look back at the place. He just vanished. All that was left was a scorched ground beneath the land of sky, and no land of sky was there anymore. Time skip. Did we know why he did it? The question was asked by Hiruzen Sarutobi as he was on a hill overlooking the last location of the land of sky. After several moments of silence, Hiruzen companion responded to the question. We have theories, speculation and guesswork, but no proof of any of it. His companion told him this companion was Tobirama Senju, the second Hokage. At almost 60 years old, Tobirama was well past his prime, a shadow of his former self abilities. He is still strong despite this, able to take down several Jonins and Anvu. But compared to his former strength, he has got a lot weaker. Though none of us really knew Naruto personally to know what will set him off like this, said Tobirama as he sighed. My brother might have known. He was the closest one to Naruto that I can name. We may never know what set Naruto off, but whatever it was, the reason was good enough to warrant the destruction of an entire country. And how do we know that? Asked Hiruzen. While I may not know Naruto enough to know why he would destroy an entire place, I know that he wouldn't act without reason. Something must have triggered this reaction from him, something to do with the land of sky. Do we know how he did this? Asked Hiruzen. I can tell it was some kind of fire, but what kind of fire? Normal fire, even produced from the strongest fire type users, is not strong enough to melt the earth. The very air is still hot. It's a side effect from what Naruto did, and that was 4 days ago. Whatever he did was some kind of variation of fire, like the Nibi blue flames. Has there been any witnesses? Asked Tobirama. Hiruzen sighed as he rubbed his head. All of them said that they felt a rapid increase in heat in the air 4 days ago. Well, all of them said that 1 second it was normal and the next they were walking through the desert of the sand with no protection. That's how hot it got. And those villages are far away from here, so you can understand how hot it must have gotten. Even water evaporated in front of their eyes. The metal that they were wearing started to burn their skin to the point where they have to take it off. Even one man said, Hiruzen chuckled, that his clothes got caught on fire, but that only lasted for a couple of seconds. I believe that is when Naruto did his attack. But Jiraiya kept on interviewing people, saying that he really wanted to find Naruto after Naruto just left like that, as he wanted to meet Naruto again and thinking that his spy network would be the best in the world if he could track down Naruto. So what did he say? Said Tobirama. What did he find out? Jiraiya believed that Naruto somehow replicated the effects of the sun, small and more controlled, but still a miniature sun. Some witness also saw that they saw a large fireball over the horizon and then it vanished in a few seconds. They say that it was yellow and it gave off immense heat. The sun fit that description, Hiruzen said. In Naruto's absence, until he can be found, Jiraiya decided to name the technique Star Release, Solar Flare. As Tobirama shook his head, we still have no evidence of that. All we can say is that Naruto technique is hot and round. As Hiruzen just nodded, that was right. Perhaps more evidence would reveal itself in time. But right now, Naruto has wiped out one of our allies. And seeing that the elemental sage was under our command, they thought that we attack our own allies, we will lose a lot of support from this. Not only the daimyo, but the public as well. We will have to pray that Naruto doesn't do something this extreme again. With that, Hiruzen turned as he started to walk away. I hope you know what you're doing, Naruto, Tobirama thought, because our war just got harder because of it. Meanwhile at Uzu, Kashima Uzumaki was now the leader of the village, as her father had passed the mantle to her. As she was at the balcony, looking over the horizon, as she could see the many hostile ships from Kumo and the stone as they were preparing for battle. All those of Chunin or higher ranks were preparing seals for when their enemies finally landed, and the Genins went out to nearby towns informing them that they will be under attack soon that they need to go back in the village wall. Because of this, there was a constant flow of civilians coming into the village, all of them being taken under the village bunker for protection. As Kashima was following a plan that her father Kai had drawn up several years ago about the evacuation, and right now she was also thinking about the elemental sage. Word had spread that Konoha did not attack their allies. So right now people were looking for him to try and find him and try to get him to join their village, or try to take him out because he wasn't under the protection of Konoha. And once again, the stone, the sand, and Kumo formed an alliance against Konoha. But unlike last time, Konoha was prepared for alliance. They unleashed it in pure strength as they had the Sanins, the White Fang, and Hiruzen, who showed that his strength hasn't wavered over the time. And that shot down all of the theories that Konoha was weak without the elemental sage. So the rest of the village realized that they need to take out Konoha allies first, so right now they were coming after Uzu, as it was best for their enemies to come to them right now and activate the barrier seal and then wait for Konoha to send their aid. Uzu did not have the numbers to win against those villages, all of them combined make it even worse. As Kashima just prayed that the Konoha forces get here quickly, because she don't think that her village will keep standing after these ninja release their full-on attack. A day later, Kashima and her father were standing on the walls as they were watching hundreds of Kumo ships that was approaching the island, along with a lot of Kiri ships behind them, as the scouts saw the ships from Kiri and they weren't too far, as they were trying to hit Uzu hard and fast, not giving them any time to rest or recover or get help. But they have obviously underestimated the power that Uzu have in sealing jutsu. But the village of Uzu was different now thanks to the main war. They saw their flaw as they rid the forest that was around them. It was now a long stretch, so if you were going to attack Uzu, you have to come in from the front. As Kai Uzumaki looked up in the sky, it should be raining, he said, as he looked quite okay for a man in his early hundreds, as he had on armor with two swords in his hand. As Kashima was wearing the Uzumaki uniform with a single sword strapped on her back. As she looked up, the sky was incredibly dark, far darker than she had seen it in her lifetime, and it was just mid-afternoon. As Kai turned to look at the approaching ships, as a small scowl came on his face. They will be landing soon. Those cowards doesn't deserve to step on the soils of our land. Those cowards are too afraid to attack us one at a time. This is war, Dad, said Kashima. Know that there were closer, she could see the shinobis running around on the deck. Perhaps they aren't stupid as we thought, said Kai as he pointed toward the sky. As Kashima looked, it was Mew and Oniki. With that dust release, the Tishikage and his successor. If they are here, then we can assume that the Mizukage and the Raikage will be coming as well. And if the cages are here, then there is a good chance of the Jinjulkis being here as well. Kashima, this war has fallen out of our favor, with the cages and the Jinjulkis combined. All of our winning chances are gone. You must evacuate all that you can. I will hold them off with the forces that I have here. The Uzumaki clan cannot end here, and neither can Uzu. You must lead the survivors of the village to rebuild. No, Kashima yelled. I am the leader of this village, and therefore, I am the one that holds this line. You, on the other hand, are not. As leader of this village, I order you, Kai Uzumaki, to begin evacuation of the village. Her father ignored her order as he stepped closer to her. So you wish for me to go to your son and daughter and tell them that the most important person in their life isn't coming to get them? You wish for me to look my granddaughter in her eye and tell her that her mother is not coming back, even after she had lost her father? If you truly believe that I would do that, then you truly don't know me at all, daughter of mine. They will need their grandfather, Kashima said, as she was trying to convince herself of that. But they will need their mother more, said Kai. Don't play this game with me, Kashima. They need you more. I am the leader of Uzu, she told him. And I am your dad, along with your clan head. And as your clan head, I order you to go and begin the evacuation. Lead our people through the tunnel to the south side of the village and take the ships from there and fled to Konoha. That is not how I want to be known, Dad. I will not be known as a coward leader of Uzo who ran while others fought. And you won't be. You will be known as the leader of Uzo who left to fight another day. You will be the one who brings our family back from the ashes. Please, as a favor for our old man who doesn't want to see his daughter's corpse, begin the evacuation. Please, said Kai. As she looked at him, she then turned her head. Fine, I'll do it, she said. But he then saw something rising out of the water at the side of his eye. As to his shock, this six-tailed slug came from the water. God must hate us, said Kai. A Beiju and an invasion force. You must hurry, Kashima. Time is of the essence, said Kai. You know that I will come back, right? I will never leave my country in this kind of state, she said. I know, he said. Just go. Please make sure everyone is safe. As Kai watched his daughter went off. Meanwhile, Miu-sensei, what do we do? Asked Oniki from his position as he looked at his teacher as they observed the wandering six tails. Should we try and get it to attack Uzo? Or should we try and create another Jinjulki? We do have our seal specialist to counter the Uzumaki's own. No. Even if we did have someone to act as a vessel for the Rokibai, the sealing process will take too long. And also, we don't want Uzo to find out that we have our own sealing special. They will try to up their seals. And Kiri will be offended if we take the Rokibai, seeing that was given specially to Kiri by Hoshirama. As Miu focused on the Rokibai, who was wandering around shaking its head, it seems like it was disoriented from whatever make it came from the sea. They will have to wait till Kiri arrives to get the sixth tail, but that will give the Uzumakis more time to evacuate. 30 minutes later, Kiri arrived as well. Raise the barriers, said Kai. Meanwhile this was going on, all of the civilians and the others were fleeing. As Kai could only hope that enough people had gotten out, because with this barrier up, none of them could leave. So the people that remained was likely doomed. As a light blue shade of chakra came all around Uzo, as it also went underground, as all the attacks on the intruders, no matter how strong they were, even Miu and Oniki attacks could not go through the barrier. As the enemies outside watched with shock as the blue barrier has taken all of their attacks and it didn't waver or anything. Dad, said a voice, as Kai turned around to see his daughter with tears in her eyes. As several shinobis were behind her, one of them was holding a red-haired boy. Kushina, she said, as Kai comforted his daughter. As Kai looked at the ninjas behind her, as he quickly noticed what was wrong, as he turned back at Kazuma, as he looked down at her, she was still crying. Kazuma, what happened? He said, as he didn't want this to be true. Kushina was on the other side of the barrier before it went up, and was about to send the ninjas after her, but it already went up. It will be alright, Kazuma. Kushina is on her way to Konoha. She will be safe. As he then turned to a shinobi who was carrying his 10-year-old grandson. What happened? He said. I specifically asked for Kashima and her children to be the first one out. Our apologies, Kai-sama. We were going to wait until her children were out. 5 of us would then surprise her and take her out of here and then meet her way towards the ship. But we have failed and we're all deeply sorry. Kai let out a sigh. He couldn't fault the shinobi. They had no idea when the barrier would go up. How many people made it out? Kai asked. Only about 100 so civilians and 20 or so Jennings from the academy. With so many to transport, we couldn't move as fast as we wished. As Kai lowered his head, damn it, he grunted. Before Kai could turn towards his daughter, a shriek was heard beyond the barrier. It was definitely not human. As Kai looked to see that there was 2 Jinjulki attacking the Rokibai, 2 of them clothed in the cloak of their tail beasts, as they rammed right into the 6 tails, causing it to fall over. But the 6 tails smacked the both of them with his tail as it fell down, as the both of them was sent flying back as the Rokibai got back to its feet. Go, you must rest, said Kai as he looked at his daughter, as she went off with her son. As Kai then looked at the sky, it was still dark and the lightning was booming, but no rain came. "What are you waiting for?" he asked to the heavens. He then heard a crack of thunder as the rain finally started to fall. But thanks to the barrier, no rain reached them, but they could still hear it on the barrier. Kai then heard a thunder that screamed through the sky as he saw lightning shock apart in the sky as he watched. He then saw a figure. Is that a human? He wondered, as a person was standing in the sky with lightning all around him. As Kai's eyes went wide, it's Osusuke Naruto. As he couldn't believe it, he saw the man, white hair, and also that kimono. As Kai watched as Naruto called the lightning to his hand and thrust it down like a whip, destroying a number of ships. As he landed on the ground, a boom. As he started to attack the shinobis, he wasn't holding back. One kick broke through ribs, snapping necks with his bare hand, piercing them through the chest with his gauntlets and his arms. As Mew and Onki fire off their particle style, but Naruto already moved from that position. As Naruto appeared right between Onki and Mew and knocked the both of them out of the air with a staff that Kai could see, as the both of them were sent flying away in opposite direction. "Summoning technique," said the Mizukage, as he was now on top of a giant clam summon. The appearance of the second Mizukage made Uzu has a less chance of winning, but seeing that Naruto is now here and defeating all of the enemies, they might just win. Upon seeing the Mizukage and his summon, Naruto's staff vanished as he turned into blue particles and went into his hand. It was made out of chakra. The Mizukage opened his mouth to speak, but Naruto didn't allow him as he jumped straight up into the air. Behind Naruto, the earth raised up behind him. As Naruto brought his leg down, "God hammer," he said, as he slammed his foot into the chunk of earth as it came down with a boom, causing everywhere to shake. As Kai searched for something to hold on to, as his place started to shake as well. As Kai was unable to see what was happening to those outside of the shield. Outside of the barrier, the earth cracked as it split. As Naruto technique split the area in two. Many of their shinobis on their boats were either destroyed or they were sent flying off into the distance. When Kai managed to regain his footing, he looked over and what he saw made him speechless. Naruto has decimated the place. A mountain was formed that went high in the clouds. Before there was nothing but flat land, but now a mountain. The entire place was destroyed, the rocky pillar, the flat land, the plain, everything was destroyed. Not even Madara and Hoshirama could do this in their prime. As Kai watched as the earth started to fall back in place, as everything was dropping back down, as the earth started to shake again, as everything fell back, leading to a flat plain, but no trees or nothing was there, as all of them was destroyed or rooted up. The place was just flat. As there was also bodies that littered the earth like rubbish. Shinobi and kunoichis alike were on the ground as they were face down. The few that survived was groaning in pain, but they looked up motionless. What the hell did they just witness? As Kai looked over to see Naruto standing in front of the two Jinchuriki hosts. As Kai watched Naruto quickly stab the Jinchuriki right through the chest and throw his body up in the air, as the chakra burst out of his body, as his body fell to the ground at thud. Another flash and the other body was thrown up in the air, as the Jinchuriki chakra burst out of it as well. With both Jinchuriki dead, Kai watched Naruto looking around, as he was looking for something, as his eyes then locked on it, as Kai turned to see what Naruto was looking at. It was a Rokibai, as the Biju had traveled off while the battle was going on, and it was not far in the distance. "Detachment of the primitive war technique," said a voice, as Naruto raised a blue barrier as the technique smashed right into it. As Naruto watched as Oniki and Mew came from the air completely unharmed, seeing that they could fly. The Mizukage arrived a moment later with the candidate for the third Mizukage. "You must know that none of you can defeat me," said Naruto. "So why do you try to?" "It is only over when you give up," said Mew. "Oniki, gather what man you can and leave, and sail back to Kumo with whoever you can. You are the new Tishikage now." Oniki was very surprised at the promotion in rank, but he was cut off immediately. Now is not the time or place, said Mew, as his eyes never leave Naruto. Just know I believe that you are the only one who can truly lead the Stone Village now. As Oniki nodded as he went off. As the Mizukage then looked towards Taiko, congratulations on your ascension, Mizukage, my young pupil. As Taiko was shocked. Taiko, I will not be returned to Kira with you. So, go now, lead the village and bring it to greatness. Taiko, go now! As Taiko nodded as he gathered the remaining man, as he went off. For several moments, none of them spoke, as they looked at Naruto. Pathetic worms, said Naruto. You think you can beat me? You dare stand here think you can even slow me down? But guys, we'll be ending this episode right here. If you want to see the next part of this, you already know what to do. Like, subscribe, comment down below, and turn that bell notification to stay posted. Remember to share this with all of your friends to your social media platform. And I hope you guys enjoy. And stay in tune, yeah, I'm going to be giving you something new and special. And I hope you guys enjoy. But for now, I'm out of here. Peace.